Rob?
Hello everyone, welcome to Rob's Rogues and the Batman universe, and today we're taking a look at technically the 7th figure that came in 6 different pieces. The final figure for Mattel's 80th anniversary Batman wave, the Killer Croc Collect and Connect wave. Of course, it is Killer Croc and all of his pieces. So this is really cool to be able to put this guy together. I have one other version of Killer Croc. It is the Batman Hush version of Killer Croc that came out during the DC Superheroes line of figures. And that's the only version of Killer Croc other than a DC Collectibles figure that I have. And this figure is going to tower over all other Collect and Connect figures, and I wonder if he is taller than Clayface. I don't have many Collect and Connect figures, but I believe he is going to be the biggest. So let's just put this guy together and we will do his review as we go. So let's just build from the ground up. So we've got the crotch piece here. Let's back this out and I'll try and get it raised up and hopefully be able to do all of this on camera. So we've got the leg and the crotch piece here. And I know this is the base piece for King Shark. I'm fine with that. I mean, again, I think initially I said they could have done the KG Beast as a Collect and Connect, and I'd have been just fine with that. But that they went ahead, it's nothing new that they have, it's not like Mattel has never reused a body before, so to get something like this, even if from the waist down it is King Shark, I think they added enough detailing in here to make it work. So we've got the torso. Man, what a huge, massive figure. I'm going to have to back this camera up. You can kind of see all the other figures just kind of strewn out over here. So let's get the arm in peg. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. My gosh, this guy is huge. And we can't even get the head on camera. Little Voltron here, and I'll form the head. Oh, wow. That is awesome. So very cool. What a massive figure. Unbelievable. The first Collect and Connect figure I ever got from DC Universe Classic is Bane. I think it was Wave 16, and then I got Apache Chief, Robot Bunny Batman, and then I did some other Collect and Connects like the Bat Signal from The Dark Knight Rises, Steppenwolf. Man, that might be it. So I may bring, Clayface. I bought most of those figures, and then I actually bought a leg off of Facebook to be able to complete that. But what a cool figure. So yeah, the top portion is all new resculpted pieces, even if the hands are King Sharks. The arms are King Sharks. They had to go through and retool that mold to get all the scales, and then just the yellow wash that they got over here and some dark wash in with the scales. The back looks amazing. I mean, even as far as the feet too, they may have not gone that much detail into the feet, but they did do a little extra detailing down on the toes. I did have a few pieces of King Shark, but I sent that off to Automatica as she was trying to complete that Collect and Connect. But what a cool figure. I actually bought a whole entire wave of figures and didn't keep the Collect and Connect. That was the Super Lex Luthor, and that's going out to my buddy Stu Murray 47, which I've got to send that figure off, get it over to the UK for him. I've had it for a while. So I actually have that Collect and Connect, but I'm giving it to my buddy because, you know, hey, that's what you do. So what a cool figure. So the articulation for this guy, if we can get all in frame here, his head can go up quite a bit. That's a really pretty, almost looks like another mouth right there. He's got mouth articulation. He gets some chomping action. Can look down, which is great. So it's like a ball peg, but it's also on like a almost like a light switch, I'm calling like a switch peg, so they can go up and down quite a bit. Can rotate 360. The arms are on the ball peg and socket here. He's got a bicep swivel, single bend at the elbow, wrist swivel and hinge, ab crunch, which is really good, and also being able to look down. So if he wants to scold Damien, oh my gosh, check that out! Look how small Damien is compared to Killer Croc. Holy crap! Like I said, waist swivel, the classic DC Universe Classics T-jointed legs, upper thigh cut, single bend at the knee, and does it have a rocker? Yes, rocker and ankle hinge. What a fantastic way to end with a great collect and connect. Let's bring up a Clayface that I have here right off to the side, and maybe I'll grab a couple others, and before we do that, we'll show the I about said King Shark. We will show Killer Croc, the other version of Killer Croc that I have, and we'll see the jump in size here. Him so tiny. Wow, how times have changed. So this, again, this is from, geez, what year is this? 2000. I'm probably not going to find the product stamp on it. I want to say it's 2000, probably the 2003 Batman line is where this originally started. Became the DC Superheroes Classics. So you got the first issue of Batman Hush with this figure. Or you got a comic book with this figure for the Batman Hush, since that was Killer Croc's appearance in that story. So that's, if you bought it when it first came out, you got the comic book. It came with the torn shirt and everything. And then now this is how he looks in Rebirth, and just what a massive figure that this is, and to see where they were. They did another version that was similar to this that had a little bit better articulation and no tail, but this is the Jim Lee design here, but just really cool. I'm going to bring up a couple of the other Collect and Connects, and another figure that I forgot that I have, and I don't know, I think I filmed this review, but I don't know if I ever released it. I got a bunch of videos that I filmed and just never reviewed, so you're going to get a bunch of stuff from me. I think I say it all the time, but it's really going to happen. Trust me. So here he is with Clayface, and let's get his head up here. So right now, Clayface, up until this point, was the biggest Collect and Connect that I had in my collection. Probably width-wise and just overall massiveness, I think Clayface wins a little bit. But in height, Killer Croc is literally just head and shoulders above Clayface. I think Clayface they sculpted him hunched over a little bit, so I think you could argue and say they're about the same size, but I think if I put a ruler up here where Clayface's head is, I think his back is actually a touch taller than the top of his head, but very cool. And then one of my more recent ones that I forgot about was Doomsday, and I forgot I had him, the new 52 version of Doomsday, and he's a massive figure in and of himself. And initially I thought, wow, that's the biggest Collect and Connect that I have. Then I got Clayface, and I forgot about the Apache Chief is actually taller than Doomsday. Apache Chief almost gets up there for height on Killer Croc. The first, let's do this one next if I can find it. There we go. Got so many figures up here. Robot Bunny Batman, Commissioner Gordon. With the top of his head far enough, I think you can tell he is actually the same height with these ears here. And then the very first Collect and Connect I ever was able to complete was Bane. So there are all of my Collect and Connect figures. Now that's not including the BVS, Grapnel Gun, and Steppenwolf, which is behind me. But as far as comic book accurate figures go, this would be that. And then again, the Bat Signal that I have. So out of all of the waves of figures that I have a bunch of other arms and pieces, kind of like Lobo here. I didn't buy enough to complete that. The movie Ares. So I've got a box of just pieces and random stuff that I'll probably never complete. And they were just figures that, as we started getting towards the end, instead of buying every single figure, I just wanted to get the ones I really wanted. But all of these collect and connects I did want and happened to be belonging to waves that I did eventually want. And here we are, final thoughts on this final wave from Mattel, from the DC Comics Multiverse line. Again, unless other news breaks, but I believe this is it. The 80th anniversary Batman wave, and i.e. the Killer, man, it's hard to say, Killer Croc Collect and Connect wave. An absolutely fantastic wave. This has to be one of my favorite Mattel waves ever. And there have been some great waves of figures from the whole entire DC Universe Classics all the way to the beginning of the DC Superheroes line, and now into the Multiverse, and then some of the movie figures that they've done. Some were better than others, and even the more recent with the Aquaman wave that I was doing reviews for, and the Shazam movie figure, those have been fantastic. But I think this is the cream of the crop of what Mattel is able to do, and it's sad that Mattel was able to get back to this right at the time that they lost the license. I think DC just decided to go a different way and not renew the license with Mattel. But man, to see the quality of figures, although there were some issues here and there with a couple of them, being the cape on Grayson and the guns on Jason Todd Red Hood. But other than that, I think we're nitpicking at straws here. And again, I've got some other accessories that some of them don't actually have. So don't go, hey, mine didn't get the batons. Those are from Nightwing. But I could not be happier with this wave. If this is how Mattel is going out, then they went out on 10s for me. This is so hard to try and pick favorite, least favorite up to most favorite, and when they're all 10s in my book. I don't really care what anybody else says, that they all deserve to be in a top 10 spot somewhere. But since we're going to do a ranking anyway, starting at the bottom, and again, I feel putting any of them out of number one, we're going to go with Katana being the sixth figure in the wave, the seventh figure in the wave. Probably the next one, even though I really like him, would be Dick Grayson Batman. Then we're going to jump to Killer Croc. It's just a fantastic collect and connect figure. The next figure is going to be Red Hood, Jason Todd, followed by the KG Beast. KG Beast almost made a lot higher. Alfred Pennyworth in the number 2 spot, and then, no surprise, yes, I'm a big Tim Drake fan, but this figure is so good, so well done, and we finally got a good quality Tim Drake Robin figure that's in a great scale to sit in with a bunch of other figures. And like you saw earlier, the other Tim Drakes are really kind of tiny. But that's going to end it for the DC Comics Multiverse from Mattel. Now, don't be sad and go, oh, Rob's done reviewing Mattel figures. There is a bunch of other stuff that I said I have filmed that I never got around to getting edited, or other figures I just never shot reviews for. So yes, this is the end for Mattel, but as far as this channel is going to go, I'm going to try and go back and get through other figures I just never released their videos for, or I never end up shooting something for them. So I'm going to start filming a bunch of that stuff now. So hopefully you've enjoyed this series. I know some people are just doing them all in one giant shot. I wanted to give each one of these figures their spotlight and really celebrate what Mattel has done here. There's been some great highs and there have been some great lows with Mattel. But if this is the official end of Mattel's licensing with DC, I think they went out on top. So good job, Mattel. So as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues and the BatmanUniverse.net, signing off saying we will see you guys next time.